Today we have the Arteza Real Brush Markers, the 24 set, and I'm going to try these ones on a Bristol smooth paper. So I tried the Strathmore and this is a Lana Bristol paper. I tried these two ones and I think I tried another one which is just a cardstock paper. Just to see on which paper these brush markers work the best, and I decided to go with the Lana Bristol paper because the color corresponded the best to the color on the, not on the cap, but on the end of the marker. The reason for using the Bristol paper, so the really smooth paper, is so that you do not damage your brush markers. Because rough surfaces, as if you would be using watercolor paper with with the rough surface, after some time your brush bristles would be destroyed. So because of that, it is better to use a smooth paper for these watercolor brush markers. But there is another thing: if you do use them on a Bristol paper, you will not be able to put a lot of water on it because that paper is not made for watercolor. So that is something you do have to think about and try. Maybe you could use the hot pressed watercolor paper. That one would also be really good, because then you can put much more water on your paper and your paper will not get destroyed. In this set, you get this watercolor brush, but I really did not like it because I hope you can see here, when you press the brush, the drop is not falling or going to the tip of the brush, rather it just falls out on the side. So that means if you are, let's say you are coloring something on your paper directly and you just want to put a little bit water on your paper, when you press it, the drop will not go where you intended it to go, but it will fall maybe 2 centimeters further down, and that is something that can destroy your painting. So actually I really did not like this watercolor brush. So that was, I don't know, maybe I got just a damaged one, wrong one, maybe it was just a bad luck, but this one was horrible. But nevertheless, I wanted to use it for these swatches. And as you can see here, there are some really nice colors in this set, but I was not so happy how well the colors dissolved, because you can still see the line where you stop painting, coloring with the brush marker. One of the ways how you can use these markers is for hand lettering. So I'm really still a beginner, I'm not a professional one, so I'm still learning, but I would say that they are really nice. So you can really put thin lines and thick lines, so I think they are a really good solution not to buy the expensive ones like Tombow or some other ones. So I think these could be really good for hand lettering. And as you can see here, I tried to use two colors. So this brush to brush transfer of color, let's say it like that, it works to small amount, let's say. I don't know why, but the color does not really go that much onto the other marker. Maybe because of the brush, how it's made, but it did not work very well. It worked much better with some other markers I tried. And you can see that you can do a really thin lines because the brush is so sharp. Really, this is the sharpest brush I sold till now, so that is really nice. And you can also do thick lines, so it is a really nice set for hand lettering, I would say. But so for what I like to use the watercolor brush markers is to color with them. So I'm using them like watercolors. I will put some color on the paper and then I use my watercolor brush just to move the color around. And in this case, I just draw some really old camera, doesn't matter, just to try how these markers work. And yeah, and something else, what I remember now, the black color of these watercolor markers was really horrible. Here on the camera, it actually seems a little bit black, I would say, but in the real life, that was not even close to a black color. So that was a little bit disappointing. Um, yeah, so as you can see, I'm putting some lines of color, and what I do then is I try to move the color around with my wet brush. But the problem with these ones is what I already noticed during my swatching is that you are not able to move the color so much. So and you are not able to dissolve the lines, and that is something I do not like. I would like to, as you see here with this purple one, I'm not able to get rid of this purple line, so I still have it there, and that is yeah, it's just not my style of painting. But still I try to do my best, and yeah, and finish this painting with these markers. So I would definitely recommend them for hand lettering, because as I said, you can make some really thin lines with them and then the thick ones. So I think they would be really good for beginners, maybe also later from professionals. I mean, as I said, I'm still a beginner myself in hand lettering, so but I really like them for that. For this other thing like coloring, there are some others which are much better, like the Amazon Basic watercolor brush markers, which I already have a review of them. There you can almost completely dissolve the color and move it around. You can put more layers, and it is much easier to work with those ones if you just want to color. So yeah, as I said, these are good for hand lettering, coloring more or less. I mean, you can still do it if you like the lines, if you like that you do not want to dissolve your color completely and want to have those lines, then yeah, just go for it. And I mean, the colors are nice. They are nice, except as I said, for the black one, you do have to layer a lot and put some other colors to get the nice black one. But because here it does seem on the camera as it is black, but oh my god, that was really not a nice black color. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this really short review, and check out my other reviews. And as I said, I do have reviews of some other watercolor brush markers. Check those out if you want to buy and try watercolor markers. So watch those, and then you can decide for yourself what kind of markers you want. And yeah, and see you next time. Bye.